Maliwanag bang inaamin ng DOE na hindi tayo, Philippine government, DOE, sabi mo na maski deregulated tayo, urging at least the private sector in preparation for any potential crisis. Hindi talaga nag-stockpile at ginagawa niyong dahilan ay dahil deregulated tayo. At sinasabi niyo, pagpalitan niyo yung batas, kung balik sa regulasyon or regulated, ay kaya natin mag-stockpile. Yun ba ang ginagawa niyong dahilan?
Mr. Chair, we haven't stockpiled. The government itself hasn't stockpiled for decades already.
I'm not saying government. When I say tayo, whole of government ito, deregulated, at least may constant coordination and meeting with the private sector, so any potential crisis, just like our ASEAN neighbors, may buffer stock na safe. We're buying now at more than double what we could have bought for 10 billion because we did not stockpile. So I want to understand, is it all to be blamed because of the oil deregulation law enacted decades ago, or dahil hindi naisip ng DOE and it failed in trying to anticipate possible crisis? It's a simple question. You don't need the technical experts.
Mr. Chair, because of the oil deregulation law and also the privatization of this industry, the burden has shifted to the private. Now, the private, minomonitor po namin yan every week on their inventory. The requirement is actually 15 days. 15 days is just good enough para buffer for 2 weeks, pero hindi mahirap din i-increase because of the capacity of their storage and also the price of the product. Kaya doon po nakapeg sa 15 days more or less. Pero now, lucky enough, they have enough for 3 times that, Mr. Chair.
Is stockpiling an act of regulation, or is it just a matter of prudent planning? Hindi naman yan parang naghihimasok tayo sa pribadong negosyo at gagawin natin dahilan ang oil deregulation law at tikom ang bibig at nakagapos ang gobyerno dahil ang batas ginawa 20 years ago. Hindi, pagplano yan eh. Pagsasangguni eh. Pag-uusap eh. Para ano man ang krisis, kaya nga surprise yung nangyari, kung tayo ay nakikipag-ugnayan, gaya ng ibang mga bansang binanggit ko sa ASEAN, ay hindi tayo masyadong gipit, which brings me to the statement made earlier, which I monitored. Ano ba yung sabi? Tagtuyot? Ano yun? Ano yung sinabi dito? Ano yung sinabi dito? Nasaan yun? We could run dry. Yes. I heard it. So because number one, hindi naghanda ang DOE at ang ginagawa niyong dahilan ay ang deregulation law, at dahil hindi tayo nag-stockpile dahil sabi nyo hindi nyo gawain yan, na sa aking paningin ay hindi yan paghihimasok sa pribadong negosyo kung hindi prudent planning. Tapos sinabi ng DOE, we could actually run dry. Tagtuyot, mauubusan, ilan na lang. Paliwanag po ano ang ibig sabihin. Akin na yung salitang yon. Ano ba yung sinabing? Tsaktong sinabi. We will run dry. The worst case is that our country runs dry. Okay, sabihin natin, sa 110 million Filipinos, DOE, Secretary, the worst case is the country will run dry. Pakipaliwanag po ang tagtuyot sa sambayan ng Pilipino para po kami maintindihan namin ang paghahandang dapat gawin. Kung ganyan po ang sinasabi ng Department of Energy, hindi pa ba yan krisis? Ayaw pa ba talagang yugyugin ang mga utak ng mga tao sa gobyerno para tanggapin na tayo'y nasa isang krisis? At sinasabi na that we will run dry. Pakipaliwanag po para maintindihan, mapondohan, nandiyan ang chair ng finance, para ang ibang ahensya ng gobyerno ay maghanda pa at masyado pang gipitin ang belt tightening sa paghahanda. We want to understand. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, the running dry means we run out of fuel and of gasoline and
Yes,
diesel.
yes, obviously. Teka po. Na English po yung sinabi nyo, sinalita nyo yung translated sa Filipino. Maaari siguro karaya kung gusto nyo. Ibig ko sabihin paliwanag, hindi po translation. What I mean, what I want the DOE to say is the implications. What does running dry mean in terms of the farmer and the fisher folk and the jeepney driver and all of those in the lower income and middle income, all of us? What are the implications insofar as agriculture, insofar as transport sector, nandiyan ang DOTR, insofar as what are your action plans? Because you said it, not us. The country will run dry. Kung tayo'y mauubusan na ng langis na nagpapatakbo ng ating ekonomiya, gusto namin marinig ni Chair kanina pang 9:00. Anong action plan na hindi motherhood statement? Thank you, Chair.
Secretary Hearing.
Mr. Chair, I can only speak for DOE that what the impact on the industries would be with the other agencies. And sa atin po, as our impact would be the fuel side on the gas stations, and which affects the transport, and then on the power side. The power side, we fortunately we are only using diesel at 3% in our energy mix. So ang most affected dyan would be Napocor, Mr. Chair, the islands, no? So that's why our chair, our president has been hard at work in coming up with alternatives in case different scenarios. On the fuel side, we are currently the effect would be transportation cannot run. We are doing different scenarios to do avoiding that, working with DFA, working with the different governments, different countries, different oil companies para siguraduhin po that our orders are consistent, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for that statement, DOE. The worst case is that our country runs dry. Tagtuyot ang Pilipinas base sa fuel. The implications, according to the DOE, transport will not run. Kung yan po ang mangyayari, isa lang yan sa implikasyon. Ano po ang action plan na mararamdaman po ng taong bayan na pwede niyong ilahad sa komiteng ito pag mangyari yung worst case scenario that our country runs dry? Ang tubig din, kulang. World Water Day nung isang araw, isa pang issue yan, tubig naman. The water will run dry sa Pilipinas. The country will run dry. Worst case scenario, ayon sa DOE, and the transport sector will not run. Having said that, may this representation, Mr. Chair, ask the DOE, ano po ang inyong mungkahi at action plan? Dapat, worst case scenario palagi ang ating mindset. Ganon kami sa national security sa military. Palaging war gaming, worst case scenario. If the transport sector is not secure and will not run because the country will run dry, ano ang action plan ng DOE maliban sa sinabi nyo kaninang carpooling, work from home, Zoom with mayors? Ano pa po?
Mr. Chair. On the inventory level, Mr. Chair, we're doing different scenarios in different contingency plans. Ano? Ang first off sa ngayon is we are talking to all the oil companies constantly and checking their inventory, making sure that meron tayong enough. Right now, even though we have enough for the next month, we are already working on the next batch. Kaya kinakausap na rin namin yung mga ministers ng iba't ibang bansa and looking at PNOC, which hasn't been done before. PNOC, a government corporation, is also looking for alternative routes other than those getting from Middle East. So, yun po yung isang intervention namin na talagang pinupush makakuha, and PNOC is there just in case it gets too expensive na rin, or it is getting expensive. We are willing to buy as long as there is enough supply in the Philippines. So sinisecure po yung supply. That's our first and main objective, no? Next, now if it's depleting for some reason, we also have different alternatives, and we are already working on this. We're supposed to have a meeting today with for biodiesel or biofuels, to utilize biofuel both for generation of power and as well as for transportation. It's either increase the production, or if they don't have enough raw materials, if we need raw materials, we're still assessing what is the volume that's needed for generation and what's needed for the cars, Mr. Chair. Kasi there are vehicles that cannot take in 20%, for example, in the blend. So, inaaral po rin ngayon, and we're coming with the volume that will be needed. So, piniprepare na lang namin. The other intervention that we did just recently is just in case, kung wala na talaga mga Euro 4, Euro two can help in the generation of power. That's also an option. And ang other and then we're also ramping up the renewable energy. Meron pong mga projects na papasok pa lang December, so we're helping them. Target is to have them on grid na by April para pumasok na sila para mabawasan yung pressure sa fuel. Kung hopefully matanggal siya sa power, doon na lang siya sa transportation. So that's what some of the interventions we are doing now para hindi po mangyari po yung worst case scenario natin.
I'd like to quote the president today in an interview with Bloomberg. Several countries have already told our airlines they cannot fuel their aircraft, so they have to carry fuel there and back. Long haul is going to be a much more serious problem. These are the president's statements today, and it seems to be at odds. Hindi po tugma sa sinabi po ng DOE na sinabi, but they have assured us they're okay. Ayon po sa DOE, we met them because we wanted to know if they need help in procuring, but they have assured us they're okay. Garin said. Ito po yung sa balita ngayon lang. Ayon po sa Pangulo ay may problema. Long haul is going to be much serious problem. They have to carry fuel. But the DOE said they're okay. Kaya siguro walang sense of urgency. Apparently, ang iba sa gobyerno kasi we're okay. May I just be enlightened, please? Ano po ang tamang statement? At tayo ba ay A-okay? O tayo ba ay posibleng mag-run dry? Ano ba ho talaga ang statement?
Mr.
Thank
Chair.
you, Mr. Chair.
Our consultation is on their fuel, Mr. Chair. We have checked, we met last night at around 6 o'clock with Petron because they're the supplier, Cebu Pacific and PAL. They have a combination of suppliers, Petron, and also they import it on their own. As of yesterday, their inventory is around 38 days. 38 days, and they have confirmed. We asked them if they want us to help them procure additional fuel for the next month, meaning on May. They have already secured confirmation of their next order. I think it was South Korea, no? And what we will do is just follow it up with a G2G dialogue also to make sure that it comes in. So they have told us that as far as their fuel here is concerned, sufficient sila for the next 2 months, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Mr. President, Mr. Chair, ang gusto ko sanang marinig mula sa executive, pag ang DOE ay nagsabi na the country will run dry at tinanong natin sa ating crisis committee ano ang implications nito at ano yung action plan, ang gusto kong marinig sana, impact if we run dry. Ano? Transport stops. Ano ngayon ang action plan? DOTR. Food supply is disrupted. Ang ngayon ang action plan? DTI. Emergency services stalled. Ang ngayon ang gagawin ng DOH at iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno. Prices spike as they are doing now. Ano ngayon ang ginagawa nyo? DA at DTI. Agriculture gets hit. It's already hit. And farmers and fisher folks, despite being half of our population, only, tama ba yun? 44,000 lang mabibigyan ng ayuda. Ano ba yun? GDP declines, anong gagawin? DepDev, DOF, etc. Ano ang gagawin natin? Health risks, wala bang DOH dito? Ganun sana ang ating gustong marinig mula sa gobyerno, sa executive, sa pagpulong na ito. Mula tayo ng alas 9, hindi masyadong mga motherhood statement. But having said that, I don't think they're prepared for that. Perhaps in the second hearing, they could be more prepared and not come late. It was also stated that the DOE is trying to cap profits. To cap profits. So pwede pala eh. Diba? Sinabi ba nyo yun? To cap profits. Why just now? Ano pa ang natuklasan sa nakaraang 4 na linggo ng DOE? Ano ba ang usual na margins ng mga kumpanya? At paano magkaka-adjust? Assuming you have the answer to that, kung hindi sila handa, Mr. Chair, ay maari nilang ibigay sa atin sa pangalawang hearing or after today kasi gusto natin aralin yung statement na they are looking to cut profits. Sino yung they? The private sector. Oh, Ano ang natuklasan ng DOE sa inyong pagpupulong at investigasyon? Ano ba ang mga margin? We have to understand all that, and this applies to the queries of Senator Marcoleta. Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
We don't have the power to cap profits, Mr. Chair, right now. That the discussion was about what are the, I think, Honorable Senator Ontiveros was asking what could be possible changes that we would suggest in the amendment or overhaul of the oil deregulation law. The current system is there are several parts of the supply chain until it gets to the gas stations, and at this there is a huge difference between a gas station in, let's say, in a town in Mindanao and in NCR, and that's what we want to explore the possibility of that in times of emergency or in times of like this, there has to be a certain limitation para hindi masyadong mabigat po sa mga consumers natin.
I go back to the airplane question. Kasi binabasa ko yung news. Wina-warning ni Pangulo na grounding planes due to fuel shortage is a possibility. Pero sabi naman ng DOE, hindi raw. So gusto kong malaman ang totoo. Kung accurate ba yung sinabi ni Presidente that airplanes will be grounded or not. Huwag na yung masalimuot na sagot. Mag-ground ba? At ito ba'y distinct possibility? Maski ba distinct por posibilidad? Kasi sinabi ni Pangulo na maaring the planes will be grounded. Pero sabi naman ng DOE, hindi, it's okay. So, problema ba? May posibilidad ba? Or wala naman palang problema, iparating nyo sa Office of the President. Maraming gusto kong maintindihan dahil iba yung nababasa ko sa news, iba yung naririnig ko sa hearing, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, last night, it was 6 o'clock, they confirmed to us that meron siyang fuel. So if it's because of fuel, it will not be grounded. Maybe on the price or a commercial decision on their part. Pero yung availability dito sa Pilipinas, meron pong fuel yung jet fuel yung ating mga airlines.
Okay, it just gave me more confusion, Mr. Chair, because I'm reading the President's statements, at least based on the news, grounding planes due to fuel shortage in several news reports. But the DOE is in our hearing saying that it's not true. So we leave it at that. Hindi ko pagpipilitan yung nababasa ko online. I am just confused. I will ask my questions, Mr. Chair, with the other agencies. I can proceed now. Yeah,
Proceed.
thank you. Umalis na ba yung iba? DTI? Okay, DBM. We started with this, lahat ng plano, pero wala tayong nakitang plano pa na mga ahensya yun ang sinabi ni Sen Kiko kanina, yung chair, parang motherhood. Saan kukunin ang pondo para lumaki ang subsidy na binibigay po? Sa GAA 2025, sa continuing appropriations, at sa GAA 2026 na 2.5 months pa lang at alam natin naka-FLR lahat. Ayon sa aking datos ay 188.584212, tama ba ito? Billion ang available funds. Please give an accurate figure mula sa GAA 2025, ano yung continuing appropriations, ito'y naka-earmark na kasi nasa GAA, anong balak ninyo, ito ba'y re-realign nyo, paano nyo gagawin yun na legal, at ayon naman sa 2026, hindi natin na-anticipate itong krisis, anong gagawin nyo sa ibang line items na sa panahon ng krisis ay baka tignan na luho. Sa ordinary times, hindi luho. Pero sa panahon ng krisis at may austerity measures ay parang luho. In short, ano yung pagkukunan natin ng pondo para matulungan ang nagdurusang mga sektor? Thank you. DBM.
Yeah, Mr. Chair. Okay. For the 2025, we still have a continuing appropriation of around 10.9 billion that's intended for the program already ng ating mga ahensya gaya ng from the DA, yung fuel assistance to farmers, from our DFA, assistance to national and legal assistance fund, from our DMW para sa kanilang emergency repatriation fund at saka alagang OWA, Also from the DSWD na mayroon din po silang 22.2 pa na million continuing and for their AICs, and for the DTI para sa kanilang MSMEs, Negosyo Center, shared facilities, and of course from the DOTR na may 2.5 billion para sa kanilang fuel subsidy transport sector affecting the rising fuel prices. And for the 2026 naman po, mayroon po tayong available na 200 billion from the 2026 GAA po natin. That is intended for just the same program for the DFA. We have the Assistance to National and Legal Assistance Fund of 1.2 billion. Also for the DMW, the 4.3 billion pesos for the that is Action Fund actually for 2 billion at the same time for the OWA, na 2.2 billion para sa kanilang ERP or ERP, Emergency Repatriation Program. Also, we have a DSWD that is now being implemented by the Secretary Rex as far as the protective service for individuals and families in difficult circumstances. And also, again, for the DTI, yung kanilang SMEs, Negosyo Center, and shared facilities na 2 billion po for the 2026. And of course, mayroon po din tayong 13 billion sa contingent fund and 23.5 billion for National Disasters Reduction Fund. Now, in addition to that, Mr. Chair, we have also the tapping the special account in the general fund of the DOE that is intended from the Malampaya para doon sa kanilang pagbili ng bulk bulk purchases of oil. So that is around 20 billion, which is already submitted to us the request for the release of this fund. Okay, now I haven't mentioned there yet also is from the 2026 bill GAA, the 10 billion para doon sa kanila for the DA, which is the Presidential Assistance to Farmers and Fisher Folk, that is 10 billion. We also have the DOH MAIP, this is 51.6 billion, and the 2026 Dole to Pad program of 21.28 billion. So a total, Mr. Chair, we have around 230 billion pesos to support this sa ating or possible sources for in times of crisis of war. So
Salamat. Ito po ay na-budgetan natin sa
Yes,
GAA 2026 under normal circumstances.
yes.
Siyempre, hindi natin anticipate ito. So, anong bagong action item or emergency
Okay.
measure ang ating ginagawa? Ano ang kakaltasan nyo na lump sum kung meron
Okay.
o confidential fund
Okay.
na ililipat nyo para po ma-augment ang
Alright.
subsidiya o tulong sa tao?
Yeah, Mr. Chair. Given the issuance of the Memorandum Circular Number 114 dated March 6, 2026, we also looking at government expenses that we can look at to probably lower the what you call the non-essential maintenance and other operating expenses, the MOE. Basically, that includes the travel expenses, training and scholarship, supplies and materials, utility expenses, representation expenses, and other MOE. So ang aming based on our estimate, we're looking at around 12.1 billion to 24.2 billion cost reduction from the efficiency measure. Yes, Mr.
Agree
Chair.
ako sa lahat ng sinabi nyo. Wag naman ang scholarship.
Ay,
Parang
okay.
mali yata. Sinabi nyo, tatanggalin ang
Tatanggalin.
scholarship. Kakapasa lang namin nung tertiary
Training.
education subsidy na LEDAC measure sa CHED. Wag naman po.
Yes, Madam
Diba?
Chair,
Oo.
Mr. Secretary, Mr. Chair.
Siguro
Yeah,
mga travel.
yes.
Yung mga excessive travel, di ba? Oo may mga ganun eh. Hindi ko linalahat, pero yung iba dyan sa executive, excessive travel. Oo.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Kasi po doon kasi sa ng ating expense class, training and scholarship kaya nabanggit po. Pero yes, we will exclude the scholarship. And also for yung mga kasi po rin
Ang training, wag naman.
yes, yes.
Kung ito po'y training
Ayan.
sa mga guro, wag naman, hindi ba?
Yeah.
May mga training sa mga teachers, may mga
Yeah.
training sabihin natin sa senior high school
Yeah.
graduates. Wag 'yon. Yung mga trainingan, ganun. Yung mga sa abroad trainingan, ganun.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Also, just want to note then now we also look at tinignan po namin may exemption po na ginawa po din natin in terms of computation. In-exempt po natin those in education, health, social, general public service or defense sector with frontline service and significant supplies and materials requirement based on their mandated functions. So tinignan din po na may exemption naman to, Mr. Chair.
Siguro hindi sapat, Mr. Chair, ang panahong ito dahil gusto natin makita yung fine print mula sa DBM, yung detalya ng continuing appropriations ng GAA 25, yun ang prioridad do. 10B na lang ba ang nalalabi? Hindi, marami pa eh. Marami pang nalalabi. I don't think, although ito si Gino, si Mr. Google to, hindi 10B. 10B na lang soft nyo? Narinig ko sa hindi.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, Mr. Chair. These are ano natin po, continuing appropriations related to the regular functions of the
Pero
department
suriin nyo
agencies. Yes,
kasi
Mr. Chair.
paki-submit sa amin. Titignan natin line by line yung continuing nyo mula 2025. Tapos yung sinasabi nyong maari pang gamitin sa subsidiya sa mahirap sa panahon ng krisis, tanggalin nyo ang training sa mga kailangan na sektor at yung scholarships, wag nyong tanggalin nyo sa listahan nyo, ibig sabihin ituloy nyo. Tapos isa pa, binanggit nyo ang MAIFIP, 51B. Tatanggalin nyo ang MAIFIP?
No, Mr. Chair.
Hindi.
Kasama po sa identified
Oo.
opo, na pwedeng gamitin pa na itutuloy pa rin ng DOH.
Wala bang DOH dito? Kasi, Mr. Chair, pinagbawalan tayo mag-amend ng budget. Well, this is connected to the crisis kasi zero balance billing na raw at bawal na MAIFIP. 2.5 months later, MAIFIP pa rin. Kasi hindi pa rin zero balance billing. So, that's another issue. Yeah, it's another issue sa oversight function na ginagawa natin. Pero konektado pa sa krisis. Dahil when it runs dry and transport stops and food supply is scarce and prices are high and health services are expensive, you need zero balance billing, which is not happening in most hospitals. Ang haba ng pila sa acting tanggapan sa MAIFIP pa rin. Kaya nga yung kasi yun ang hirap pinapangako natin sa tao tapos sa press release nandun. Nagpatawag ako sa DOH nandun. Pero hindi nangyayari.
Senator Lauren, just to
Yes,
interject on that topic. Kung meron sigurong taong dapat mag-belt tighten, mauna dapat ang gobyerno, no? Dahil para mag-set tayo ng good example. So, meron kaming mga estimates. I'll show it sa slide. And this was done during the pandemic. So, tinignan namin yung different expense class at kung magbabawas